has been known as much as RUTO has been known. Everybody has his criminal record. We know he is a killer. We know he is a thief. We know he is a crook. We know he is corrupt. So RUTO will be, his vote will be juxtaposed or will be balanced by that. You take his character, you take his criminal behavior, you take his crookedness, you take his tribalism, and you take the Mount Kenya vote. And you take
that the country has made, and those people will vote in President Ruto. Tutatoa part of Ukambani. I can say a quarter of Ukambani will vote for President Ruto. Tutoke Ukambani. Let's go to Kisii. Kisii, we have people bordering the Nyanza and the people bordering the Rift Valley, and those people will vote in President Ruto. And I'll tell you why. Let's go to Western Kenya, Bungoma, 80% will vote for the current government. Kakamega, they will do the same. Trans Nzoia, that is where there is an opposition. Trans Nzoia, half of it will vote for opposition and 50% will vote for the government. So where else? Hakuna mali kwingine opposition watapata kura. So when we go to real numbers, kindly mute. When we go to real numbers, President Ruto will make sure that those people who will be voting in Mount Kenya hawataenda kupiga hiyo kura. And this is why kitu ya kwanza Gachagua atakuwa kwa ballot. Ataendorse mtu mwingine. That is a fact that we cannot run away from. So it will discourage people from Mount Kenya to go and vote. So the voter turnout in Mount Kenya will be less. That is the first thing. Secondly, the person who will be endorsed, either itakuwa Kalonzo ama jamaa wetu kutoka Kisii, Matiang'i. If it will be Kalonzo, you know how Kalonzo is. I cannot even talk about it. If it will be the guy from Kisii, now that is where the dynamics will change. Of course, people from the Nyanza Kisii, they will vote all of them. Watampigia mtu wao kabisa. And that will discourage people from mountain. Totally. It will discourage them. When we go to Kambani, the same thing. They will be discouraged so much. Because their person have been in that kiti kungangania ajai kaa kwa ballot. Kalonzo ajai kaa kwa ballot. So hiyo kitu itawauma and they will not turn up. Now let's go to the rest of Kenya. Tukienda Northeastern, where they are seeing they are part of Kenya for the first time, for that turnout will be more than 100%. If we go to the coast, for that turnout will be 80%. Of course, Rift Valley, of course, it will be the normal 60-70%. It will not be affected in any way. When we go to Nyanza, that is where perceptions come in. Kuna mtu alikuwa amesema ukweli, perception will come in the Western Nyanza side. Of course, for that turnout, itakuwa very low. But now, considering the fact that this is the person who is political genius, huyu jamaa amesoma siasa za Kibaki, akasoma siasa za Moi, is a political genius. He can even turn Nyanza to be another central. So, hii kitu hakuna venye opposition watashinda. That is the fact reality. That is the hard reality. And the worst thing is working on those marginalized communities that votes has never been tapped. Ukienda kama Northeastern, watu wamekuwa wakifinyiwa chini for a very long time. Na if ile kitu anaendeleza sahi ya kupeana ID, it will make those people to turn up in large numbers to vote for the government. I think nitamalizia hapo since my time is up and I'll come back later.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Lagat. Please, could we please tap the screen? We are hanging. let's start the screen. Anyone who would want to rebuttal or interject?
Yes.
Is there anyone who would want to rebuttal or interject?
Yes. Yes.
Honorable Tom, Maki, mute your mic. Wow, uko na kelele.
Oh.
Okay. Is there anyone who would want to rebuttal on whatever? Okay, Honorable Nyonyodhi, it's your turn. Then tunaenda kwa Honorable Tom. Nyonyodhi is not here. Honorable Tom, you can have the mic.
All right. Thank you, Madam Speaker. So let me just say this. I think a lot of people who are analyzing the Mount Kenya vote don't understand the Mount at all. They have no clue. They're just talking. Let me give you a trick about analyzing Mount Kenya people, the way some of us understand them. Anytime you hear the Mount Kenya people start singing the Mau Mau songs, that is the end of it. The last time they did this was during Kibaki's election in 2002. Those songs are being sung even in foreign countries by the Gikuyu people. They have nothing to do with the RUTO. So anybody who is thinking, of course, there will be, I know you use the word enlightened. Well, when you insult a community like that they are not enlightened, they listen. They go like, okay, you are the enlightened one, just go and vote for Mr. RUTO. But let me tell you what Mr. RUTO will be campaigning against, or he'll be his elections. Oh, but before I say that, let me tell you the numbers. 54% of RUTO's election in 2022 came from Mount Kenya region. Point blank, gone. 1.2 votes went to Raila. Now, also, you have to remember this. 8.5 million Kenyans did not vote in 2022. 8.5 million. Think about that. Anybody who got 8.5 million would become, and has been known as much as RUTO has been known. Everybody has his criminal record. We know he is a killer. We know he is a thief. We know he is a crook. We know he is corrupt. So RUTO will be, his vote will be juxtaposed or will be balanced by that. You take his character, you take his criminal behavior, you take his crookedness, you take his tribalism, and you take the Mount Kenya vote. And you take the other places that, like Western Kenya, that don't want to do anything with him. That is the crown that RUTO will be campaigning against. And
Madam Speaker, I want to interject just for a second. Can you please explain? Can you please explain to us how we will win? Because we want to know these numbers. We want to know these numbers.
Look, nobody interjects, please. Let me just finish and you can come back. So all these numbers, 80 million people who didn't vote, the Gikuyu people who have not moved away from him, say about 4.7 million. Remember, 54% of his vote came from Mount Kenya, 54%. Only 47% came from other regions. People are inverting numbers here. It's as if they don't understand how the numbers came about. So RUTO will be coming in with less than 57, with 54% out. And then the 80 million that didn't vote in 2022. And then his vote against his own character, his own criminal behavior, and everything else that I have said. Now, when you think RUTO is going to be part of this as an election, I'm telling you, RUTO will be shocked. Here is the other part. Western Kenya, no question, this time around is going to vote with the Mount Kenya. And there are other regions, including the Rift Valley themselves, whether it is Kericho, whether it is Baringo. We know, we can see the pattern. One of the reasons why RUTO is bringing in foreigners from all over wherever he can find them is he knows he is losing. So his benefit is here going to be in only one area, Possibly he's going to try to rig the elections. If he tries to rig the elections, the country will go up in flames. And nobody wants that, and he's not going to attempt to do that, and somebody will stop him from doing that. Now, the Gachagua factor. Everybody, I have no idea why people are so fascinated with Gachagua. I can tell you this. Mulima people do not follow their politicians the way other regions follow their politicians. There are pockets and pockets of Gikuyu people who can see what Gachagua is doing, and they love it. But they also know he won't tell them where to vote. The problem will come even bigger for Ruto is if a candidate in the opposition comes in and he's supported by Uhuru Kenyatta, and Ruto will be gone in the morning with the disrespect that everybody has for Mr. Ruto, because I have never seen anybody so disrespected. But then again, here is what I think is going to happen. These elections is going to go to a second level, is going to be a second election, because nobody will make 50 plus 1%. Because there will be a third force, or the force that goes like this. Nobody wants the old politicians. Nobody wants Ruto because he's too corrupt, he's a thief, he has destroyed the country. Now, the opposition has a lot of problems because they also have a lot of corrupt people. So the question then becomes, what is the best alternative? There is going to be another force that will come right in the middle. It will be people who are not politicians, and we will say this: we are not going to allow anybody who comes from the legacy politicians or the corrupt Ruto government, and we are going to go alone. Now, if they make 30, 40%, everyone makes about 30, 40% there, then there will be no 50 plus 1. Then we have a second election. Now, that is when, if Ruto makes it to that election, okay, I'm finished up. Okay, if Ruto makes up to the second, doesn't make it to that, he will not see the second election, and he will be gone forever. And then the next, he's gone to jail. There will be so many cases against him, he will be in prison. So there you go. That is how Ruto's resume will be written, and that's how he's going to end up. So there we go. Thank you so much.
Can I interject, Madam
I have a
Speaker?
question before you go. I have a question, Madam Speaker. I have a question for him. Please, Mr. Kingoli, can we talk about fact here? Can we talk about fact? Let's not talk about our feelings, because according to where I am, I feel like you are talking about your feelings. Let's talk about the number. Let's talk about the history and how Kenyan people have voted. Because history always tell us where we are going. What have happened before tell us what might happen ahead of us. Okay. So let's not come with a feeling of, because this guy, he's a politician, he has vote, and I'm not voting for him. What I'm saying is that we cannot say, give numbers. Give numbers so that we can see the sense of what you are saying.
Can I say, you keep saying the same thing over and over again, so let me do this. First of all, I did not talk about...
That's what you say too.
Yes, let me give you the answer then, please. First of all, I did not talk about my feelings. I not once mentioned my feeling at all. I don't talk about feelings. When it comes to this stuff, I have no feelings at all. I'm completely numb. So don't put words in my mouth. That's number one. Number two, we can talk about the numbers and you can talk about the history. But we also know this. The opposition that Ruto has in the country has never been seen anywhere. Even during Moi's time, it was not this violent. His name itself, you mention it anywhere, and people are disgusted. So I have no feelings, I'm telling you, and I don't really care, to be honest, but I care that he doesn't win. I can tell you. Yeah, so that is the answer. So that is my answer to you. Yeah, so that is my answer to you. And the numbers speak for themselves, not me. 80 million people did not vote the last time. The Koyo vote was only turned up only 47%. So 53% of the Koyo people did not vote. So think about that before you say anything else. And then there will be new people.
Nagat, what was the question?
Thank you.
Tom, Honorable Tom, let me ask you a question. Initially, when you are making your submission, you told us that people from mountain do not follow leaders. Leaders follow the people. And then you come up later and tell us that whoever President Uhuru, former president, will support, whoever former president will support, he will go with the Mount Kenya votes. What is your basis there? Because I cannot get you. Is it that the people are following leaders or the leaders are following the people? Unatuchanganya akili hapo.
Okay, that's a good question. Let me answer. That's a very good question. Because one of the things is this. One of the reasons why Uhuru will have a lot of influence. Not that we'll follow him. He will have influence because of what happened in 2022. He told the Gikuyu people how bad RUTO was. They didn't believe him. Now they go to him to say sorry. We should have listened, and we didn't. And Uhuru told the whole country, RUTO is not going to be good for this country. If it were me, he should wait until some other time, not this time. You remember that? And he told the country, he didn't just tell the Gikuyu people, he told the whole country, but specifically, he told the Gikuyu people, and he spoke in their language. He told them, you people, you will be crying in toilets because of what this man is going to do to you. Yes, Gikuyu people have been crying in toilets. Now, when Uhuru comes now back and says, I told you this, now it happened, so now you can have it. So don't ask me. I didn't.
So give others time too. Just allow people. Learn to give people time too. It's not you speaking here. So, Senator, what was your question? Honorable Senator?
Madam Speaker, I just wanted to rebuttal this Honorable Tom Kingori when he said that William Samoei Ruto cannot be re-elected because he killed the people. But it is on the record that in this country, politicians have killed many people, but they end up being re-elected. Jomo Kenyatta killed many Luos in Nyanza, but he was re-elected. Uhuru killed many Luos. He killed many Luyas here at Nairobi, but he was re-elected. And we have seen many people, including Babu Owino, he almost killed someone, but he's now the talk of the town. Didymus Baraza killed a man during the election. He's now the talk of the town. So coming to the platform and telling us that when you kill someone that you are not going to be elected, that is a lie. All politics is local. And this politics in this country is played differently. Two, he has said that William Samoei Ruto has committed many crimes, including corruption. Who committed corruption better than Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta when he was the finance minister in this country? The issue about the vehicles of the members of parliament. Uhuru alifanya mambo mingi ya kukula pesa ya Kenya, including Kibaki at that time, but they were still re-elected. So hii politics inachezwanga differently na hizi vitu zingine anatuambia. So I just wanted to guide you. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Regan, are you here? Honorable Regan?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, carry on.
Okay, I just wanted to talk something about that to Honorable Tom Kingori. He's so emotional. You know, in politics, you don't have to be so emotional and how you are feeling about everything. He's talking with a lot of emotions. He's like, he's going to decide for Kikuyus how they are going to vote in 2027.
Thank you for saying that.
And I can assure you, you know, to be very honest with you guys, when you are into politics, don't be so emotional, because that person you are not supporting, when they win, you are those people who even go and commit suicide or do something. What I can advise Mr. Kingori, try and be sober up. Yeah, like think the other way. You know, you are talking about RUTO killing people, being corrupt, because you have heard people saying that. But you yourself, you have never seen RUTO taking a gun and killing somebody. You have never seen people, you know, corruption that you are talking about all the time. RUTO is busy working, and you people, you are talking too much. Like, You are wasting a lot of energy talking, and this guy is busy working. When it comes to 2027, this guy is going to come out with a card. There is a mama in a village somewhere Ruto will go and tell you, remember, I promised this and I did it. So why should you hate me? So when you are talking about this guy, you should know that he's politically smart. As we are talking right now, we are making a lot of noise, so see what, but the guy is strategizing on how he's going to win 2027 elections. Unlike the opposition that we are having right now, they don't even have a manifesto yet, and it's only 1 year remaining. They don't even have a manifesto. They don't even have a plan. The guy is asking them, do you have a plan for 2027? But they don't have, because already the guy has a plan. Talking about Uhuru Kenyatta supporting Ruto, you remember Ruto went and met Uhuru Kenyatta in Ishaweri. They talked about something, and then Ruto came and changed the cabinet positions, and he gave some people like those of Mutai, those of Kabogo. Do you know who brought those people in? That should tell you that Uhuru is working with Ruto very close right now, so that Ruto can protect his interests. Uhuru knows very well Gachagua cannot protect his interests. Uhuru knows very well Kalonzo cannot protect his interests. The only person who can protect his interests and Kenyatta's interests is Ruto, William Samoei Ruto. And William Samoei Ruto and Raila and Uhuru, those people are one thing. Nobody should ever lie to you. They are one. And Kikuyus this time round, let me just make it clear. Nobody should lie to Kikuyus that they're the ones who are going to decide the next president, because you have manipulated Kenyans for a long time that you have numbers. Because when it comes to voter registration, you go and say that you have numbers, that Luos don't have numbers. As I'm talking to you, Luos are going to register votes in very big numbers. And you're going to be so shocked that Nyanza and Western Kenya has more voters than even Central itself. And those people are going to be supporting Ruto. So I'm just speaking as a neutral person. I'm not emotional. Don't be emotional and talking about politics. Just be sober and look at what Ruto is doing. I was never supporting Ruto. I never voted for him in 2022. I was against him. But as the time goes by, as people talk about against him, I keep on loving him. I start loving him because he's not replying. For him, he's replying them with the job which he's doing. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
All right, thank you so much.
Madam Speaker.
Is there anyone who want to rebuttal?
Yeah, I want to rebuttal. You know, for one, let's not say that Ruto is not corrupt. He's corrupt. He's the only president who have been taken to the court of law and being prosecuted for corruption and being prosecuted for stealing somebody's land. Beside that, the people of Mountain don't determine the election because they have numbers. People don't get it. People of Mountain go to vote in large number than other people because they have tasted the leadership and they know what leadership mean. The problem we have in Western, they have the number, but they don't wake up to go vote. In Nyanza, they have the numbers. They don't wake up to go vote because they have never tasted the leadership. I know how it's good to have a leader being your neighbor. You see? So it's not about that the Kikuyu have numbers, but that's where people don't even get it. It's not about the Kikuyu have population. No, it's not. They know how it is, somebody to have a leader being your neighbor. That's what make them wake up in the morning and go and get people from hospital. When in the Rift Valley and the Nyanza province, they cannot go get people from hospital. So it's not about the number, it's not about the population. It's about waking up and mobilizing people to go to the ballot. That's what makes a difference, not anything else. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, honorable members, kindly let us tap in 1 minute. For those who are joining us now, we have a topic of discussion. How will Ruto manage to go for his second term, being that people are saying that the mountain has left and it is said that the mountain are the kingmakers? How will he manage to get to his second term? that is the topic of discussion tonight. Honorable Muigai, are you ready? Let's
Yeah,
have
I'm
a
ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
Yes, carry on. Carry on.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And I want to be very candid, and I'll spend my time wisely. And this is what I have to say. William Ruto had one card to rise to presidency. And that was the notion that he used of a hustler narrative, saying that he comes from a poor family and that we should vote for him because he comes from a poor family, the hustler mentality. And he won many Kenyans. They voted for him because of that particular reason. So he told the people that he was going to change their life in their pockets and so on. Madam Speaker, I'm still here. Somebody was trying to call my phone. I don't know why. So that this person was given an opportunity to lead this country. And what has he done with the opportunity that he was given? He has mismanaged this country. And I'm surprised by people like Madam Speaker, if you could just give me a minute. Somebody is calling me so hard. I don't know what's happening. Just 1 minute. Maybe somebody else can.
All right. Is there anyone here who would want to add something before I give the mic to
Yes.
Let me do it. Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. Now, I really want to re-echo what the Honorable Ayodi said, and I support him 120%, whatever he said. We were given Gashagwa with Ruto, and we trusted him because of Ruto. We did not know any Gashagwa before Ruto brought Gashagwa to us, as people who are not from the mountain. So right now, Ruto was given the office of the president. Despite all the negative things people have said, Ruto is a murderer, Ruto is what? When the same mountain people supported Ruto, knowing very well he was a murderer, they supported him. Knowing very well he was a corrupt person, they supported him. Knowing very well he's the first president who has been taken to court for grabbing of land, they supported him. Now that the support, we are now joining hands to help them support what they supported. What is the big problem? Ruto has strategized his win. At the end of the summer, keep Nikome. Ruto has strategized his win. Whatever he's doing right now, he's planning for a very smooth landing when it comes to the election time. Watch Ruto and all his initiatives very well. He does not even focus on the noise. He's busy performing. You keep on making noise, me, I'm performing. By the time you finish, we'll meet at the finish line. So Ruto is doing politics right now for 2027, as he's also in office seated as the chief of the armed forces. And personally, I wish him the best. Yes, Ruto will win. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, can I carry on? Or
Yeah.
I've been able to control that goon. So now, I'll go back to what I was saying about William Ruto. So William Ruto became president on that particular narrative. And you know, some people try to compare William Ruto to people like Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember, Uhuru Kenyatta had one solid voting bloc. And that is the Kikuyu community. And Bagathi has said very well here. The reason as to why the people from the mountain vote the way they vote is because you can be assured that they will vote in one direction. And again, they will come out to vote. That is the bottom line. If you go, for example, to Luo Nyanza, where William Ruto is expected to get votes from there, already the people from Luo Nyanza, they were already starting to get tired of Raila Odinga. They were having what we call Raila fatigue, because they were voting for Raila Odinga for so long, and he was not winning the election, such that now there was even voter apathy in Luo Nyanza when Raila Odinga was in the ballot box. Now you can imagine Raila Odinga is not in the ballot box. So how can you depend on the people of Luo Nyanza to vote for you if they are not able to vote for Raila Odinga to the last man, and then there is voter apathy already, and Raila Odinga is on the ballot box. So how do you expect them to come out guns blazing to support William Ruto, who is not even their son? So for me, since the first strategy cannot work anymore, Ruto has lost Mount Kenya, he has lost the hustlers, and so on and so forth. People who hold pay slips, they don't want to hear him because of what he has done to their pay slip. Now he has only one agenda, and that is stealing votes. So that is the only agenda that he has. And that is why he's trying to talk about refugees, giving refugees IDs. That is his whole strategy. And for those people who are saying William Ruto is working, I can say that the leadership bar in Kenya is so low, such that a leader will just do a few things here, do one stadium there, and all of a sudden he becomes the messiah. So for me, in my opinion, and also want to ask people like Regan Ayodi, because we are not going to allow them to be hypocritical. So I want to ask him, when did he have this Damascus moment and realize that William Ruto is a very good guy now? Which year is this that we are talking about? Or he's just shying away from telling us that it is Raila Odinga who informed his decision?
Can I answer that?
Question.
First of all, Madam Speaker, Mr. Muigai, I did not support Raila Odinga in 2022, and neither did I support William Ruto in 2022. And when you talk about the mountain living Ruto, you know, this is the big question. Like, I want to know, these people always say that the mountain has left Ruto. You mean that when Gachagua leaves the government, is the mountain which has left Ruto? That is one thing that I don't really understand. When you say that the mountain has left Ruto.
Can I explain to you? The mountain left the government before Gachagua even left government. You have to understand that. People started rejecting William Ruto before even Gachagua, when Gachagua was still in government. So even if today Gachagua went back to the government and he told the people of the mountain to go back to the government, they wouldn't.
Let me finish up. Huh? In fact, let me just remind you, in 2022, you told us Ruto had been chosen by God. And for sure, we are now following that. Because actually, people who are chosen by God, sometimes they face rejection, they face difficulties and all that. So we are really supporting you guys. We were lost that time. That's why I want to tell you about my Damascus moment. My Damascus moment came that we were lost in 2022. We were voting somebody else when Ruto was the best that we were supposed to vote. When we came to realize that Ruto was the best, he was chosen by God, we are supporting him right now. And can I tell you something? We are 100% supporting Ruto because you people supported Ruto and you gave us Ruto. And that is the person we are going to support because you are the kingmakers of this nation, the mountain people. And we are behind you this time round. So when you people tell us that you don't want us to vote Ruto again, we are not going to follow now that, because now that's going to be misleading. For now, we are behind you. We will support what you supported. We will support what God gave us. And for sure, Ruto, God gave us Ruto. Since Ruto took power, there has never been drought in Kenya. There has been food all the time. There has been food, the continuous food. The fuel prices have been constant. The dollar has been constant. Like, everything is okay. And we really like that. That's why I turned to support Ruto. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I have a... Can I proceed, Madam Speaker?
Carry on so that Honorable Muigai can answer you at once.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to rebuttal about the Honorable Muigai. Honorable Muigai, don't lie to us. Know very well that here we are 18 years and above, and we know very well that the politics of this country, it is basically on ethnicity. There is no way you can tell us that people voted for William Samoei Ruto because of hustler narrative. It is not. Mount Kenya people voted for William Samoei Ruto because they do not align with the Raila Amolo Odinga's ideology. Two, when you look at the distribution of the votes that William Samoei Ruto got, 3.2 million votes came from Mount Kenya. Therefore, you will see that out of 7.2 millions, the distribution of equality in terms of voting pattern, William Samoei Ruto did not get the image of the whole country. So the people who are voting for William Samoei Ruto from Rift Valley, they voted for William Samoei Ruto because of he's their person, not because of that hustler narrative. Three, today, the Mount Kenya people are not angry with President William Samoei Ruto because he's bad, because Rigathi Gachagua is outside. The moment Rigathi Gachagua will be incorporated in the government, you will start singing William Samoei Ruto is good. We know how politics is being played in this country. It is about ethnicity. Because if we go very well that we want to allow... Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Hey, Senator Okello, I have never had. I know most of the time.
Senator Okello.
Maybe before you do that, I can answer Senator Okello and tell you, you know, I've had you being wrong on this platform, but you've never been wrong about us like you are today. And I'm talking about Mount Kenya. It's a community that you can be able to predict how they vote based on history and the way they do it. Remember, Mount Kenya was told by a sitting president coming from the region to vote for Raila Odinga. They refused. Now, they started rejecting this government of William Ruto. Immediately he was voted in 1 year later. They said they do not want things to do with him. And if you try to mention his name in Central Kenya, people said no to William Ruto. Now, that was, even Gachagua was still in government back then. So what happened is that Gachagua left William Ruto and found that the people of the mountain had already left William Ruto a long time ago. So I can assure you, and this I'm ready even to place a very high bet, people in the mountain are not going to vote for William Ruto. So he can get votes from elsewhere, he can fabricate votes, but he's not going to get votes from Mount Kenya. Let us all be honest about that. And in terms of, Regan, you talked about the people of the mountain voting for William Ruto. You know, you can make wrong decisions. If you vote a person and you realize that this person is a thug, you can change your decision. So you cannot say that Mount Kenya gave you a thug, and so you'll be voting for that thug forever to punish the people of the mountain. I think that I don't know what to say about that.
Honorable Muigai, I only have one question for
Time
you.
will tell the fact. Time will tell the
Can I
fact.
ask you one question, Honorable Muigai, before I pass
Yeah,
the mic
of
to
course, Madam Speaker, you can do that.
Yeah, thank you. I just have one question. What did William Ruto do to the people of the mountain that made them to leave even before Gachagua left? Kindly, if you can just answer that.
You know, what happened is that, you know, it's a lot of things that happened, but, you know, there's this thing that he had talked about. Mostly, you know, people are saying it was something that is tribal, but, you know, he had also promised the people of the mountain, and there are things that he had promised them also to do with the businesses and so on and so forth. But now what happened is that once he went to power, it's like he forgot all those things. So it was gradual. So it's like he promises this thing, then he backtracks on it. He promises this thing and backtracks on it. So it was not about representation in the government, because even today, Mount Kenya still has the greatest representation in William Ruto's government. But the people of the mountain do not care about that representation. And it's like William Ruto thinks that now because he has people or experts from Mount Kenya working for him, they are going to talk to the people of Mount Kenya. And the truth of the matter is that those people, those particular experts, people like Kabogo and so on, they have no like political stamina in Mount Kenya anymore. They are used up and they cannot. So for me, I would think that it's a collection of many things. But I think the people of the mountain felt betrayed, and mostly it's about things to do with business and so on.
Honorable Muigai, you know the reason why I'm telling you we are not children here. Nyinyi mlikataa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta mkasema ameharibia Wakikuyu biashara kwa kusapotiana na Raila Amolo Odinga. Sasa huyu Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta sasa hivi mnasema ni mzuri, amerekebisha nini huko Central yenye sasa hivi mnasema yeye ndo kingpin wenyu.
Hakuna mtu anasema Uhuru Kenyatta ni kingpin. Nobody is saying this. Mount Kenya has no kingpin. Let me tell you. Mount Kenya has no kingpin.
It is tribal you are playing. We know you people.
No, Senator Okello, I'm guiding you, and I want you to understand the politics of Mount Kenya. And you can ask anybody else from Mount Kenya here. They will tell you that Mount Kenya has no kingpin. Even Uhuru Kenyatta, by the time he was leaving presidency, he had not yet attained the level of being called a kingpin. Mount Kenya had only one kingpin, and that was Kenyatta one. His father.
Mr. Muigai.
Sasa wewe unatuchezea. Kama huyu Uhuru ndio mwenye Uhuru mwenyewe ndo Michuki alienda kuendorse pale Muranga. Sisi tukiona na macho. Michuki akaenda kuendorse huyu Uhuru akisema kuanzia leo hii, if you want to come to Mount Kenya, you must pass through Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Alikuwa na muendorse kama nani?
I have a question for Mr. Muigai, just a quick one. I've heard him mentioning something about betrayal. Can you kindly explain to us how Ruto betrayed the mountain, if not removing Gachagua from the deputy presidency? Kindly explain to us.
Can I say something that will be controversial a little bit, please? Let's be honest about these things, because let's not be hypocrite here. The things zenye zilifanya watu wa Mount Kenya wasikie wametoka kwa Ruto, sio Gachagua, it's just business aspect of it, nothing else. Saa ile umeanza kuleta mambo ya housing, that's where Kikuyu eat. That's the business for Kikuyu. Let me tell you the truth. Things like that are the one which are making Kikuyu people feel like they are being boxed in a corner. Ni vitu zenye tutaweza kuongea hapa, lakini ni ukweli. You know, when you build millions and millions of house, ni watu wagani wanakuanga na manyumba hapo Nairobi? Si ni wa Kikuyu? Those are the people wenye wanaenda kwa ground wanasema huyu mzee anaharibu business zetu. Those business housing zimekataa kufanyika for a long time for a reason.
So finally,
I'll talk about it, and I know it's very controversial. It's very controversial.
Finally, Mr. Bagati
It's
has
very
come back.
controversial.
We want cartels to continue running this country.
No. We are talking about the reason why.
Yes, I'm.
You know, I maybe not. I'm not for RUTO for some reason, but I know one reason. Let's be honest about it. One reason yenye imefanya Wakikuyu wasikie they cannot take it anymore. Hii mambo ya housing, they have broken the camera back.
Then Kikuyus are just selfish.
No. In the
they are very selfish.
You go to.
We have to equalize this thing.
No, listen, Nelly. Let me finish. Nelly, in this world we live, you go to the booth to vote because of your own interest. You don't go to vote for other people's interest. You know, when people say Kikuyus are tribal because they vote for their own interest, I sometimes wonder, why would I care about the interest of Luo and Nyanza and I don't know about Samaki? Why would I care about interests of Munias or Western and I don't know anything about Sukari? I don't know. So politics is local. Politics is local. People of mountain go to vote for their own interests. And when their own interests are tampered with, they hate it. Even Uhuru, they did not spare him.
But Mbagadi, who was
You have now just said the same
Give us time to contribute.
Yeah, kindly give Mama 237 time so that the platform can be open for everyone. So,
Okay.
Honorable Mama, you can have the mic and let's start kindly.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and all the honorable members. I want to say that when people say the mountain has rejected RUTO, who is speaking on behalf of the mountain? Because there are still people who support RUTO and are from the mountain. And I want to tell you, I want to say why RUTO will make a comeback. First of all, the people who are opposing him are very disorganized. They don't even know who to put in the front line to beat RUTO. Second, don't say that RUTO has not delivered to the hustler, because by the time he's finished with the markets and with the housing project, he will have covered the hustler nation. And when Honorable Mbagadi says that the Kikuyus fell out with RUTO because they are the ones who own the housing and RUTO is interfering with their business, are we saying this is a Kikuyu nation? We are saying that RUTO has brought in affordable housing so that he can reach even to the lower level mwananchi. But when we say do we want Kikuyus to continue controlling the housing sector so that it continues to be more and more expensive, and then we have slums coming up? No, that is why he brought in the affordable housing, because he wants the smaller person, the hustler, to even get the piece of cake of the housing. And I'm telling you, RUTO may not even need the Kikuyu nation, because the Kikuyu nation has been known to rebel, and that did not stop presidents, even like President President Moi to come in. So he may even go to the other tribes, you know. Even if the Kikuyu have votes, have numbers, does it mean they overpass the other tribes? And RUTO is a calculating man. Remember, even when RUTO came in 2017 as the deputy president of Uhuru Kenyatta, he was eyeing 2022. He was not even thinking about his deputy presidency. He was thinking about presidency in 2022. And that is when he started calculating. Do you think that RUTO is not calculative anymore? And by the time he's finished with this term, because he will have done a lot of housing projects, affordable housing projects, he'll have done the markets which touch the smaller mwananchi. he will have, and look at how he even sustained the dollar. The dollar was sustained wrongly, erroneously by President Uhuru Kenyatta. And there was no corrupt government like that of Uhuru Kenyatta. He even admitted it himself that we lose 2 billion, or was it 2 million a day or 2 billion a day? And things went haywire, and that is why he went to look for Raila Odinga, because he needed somebody to assist him to move this government forward, his government forward. So do you think that Ruto is not calculative anymore? Ruto is calculative. He is still with the Hustler Nation, and he will come back stronger once he's done with his projects. Right now, we are hearing a lot of propaganda, and that is what most of us are following. And that propaganda will not help us. By the time he's finished with this term, the Hustler Nation will be right behind him. We may have a divided Kikuyu Nation, but it doesn't mean he will get fewer votes. We will just have a divided Kikuyu Nation. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Now, thank you. Can I just say something on top of that, kindly, Madam Speaker?
Carry on.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm supporting Mama like 150% of in this way. I've always said this thing, and I'm still repeating it. The most tribe that has cartels in this nation are Kikuyus, and Ruto. The main agenda of Ruto in this first term is to fight cartels. He fought cartels even from the coffee farmers. There are people who are receiving money and they don't even have coffee plantations. They don't even know where the coffee is planted. They get money from the farmers. Nowadays, Ruto gives money direct to the farmer. There were cartels even in the milk industry. There were cartels in pesa ya wazee. Wazee walikuwa wanapanga line Equity Bank, KCB. They are on the line. The Equity Bank has to take their share and somebody else has to take a share out of that money. But today, mzee anakaa nyumbani, the money comes in their phone direct without any going to any bank. So those people who Ruto is fighting, those cartelism that is fighting, including the one that has Mr. Bagadi has just confirmed of housing, we know that. We know that is where your anger is coming from. And we know that is why you are so bitter with Ruto. But this is what we wanted as a nation. We want a nation of inclusivity, a nation where everybody can feel free to do business, a nation where everybody can feel the ownership of being a Kenyan, not a nation where cartels are running the nation, left, right, and center. Some people have interest in every corner. Even that Gachagua himself, before even he became the deputy president, he had around almost, 13 companies which were running almost all the 47 counties. You remember he had cases on that. And he's the chief cartel, by the way. He's the chief cartel of these 2 counties. All these impeachments you can hear, everything, is because governors have refused to sign for cartels. And that is what Ruto is fighting. And that's why we are supporting him to fight cartels so that he can reach the Mwananchi directly without somebody in the middle. Thank you.
100%.
Can I ask Mama a question?
Yeah, carry on, Honorable Mugai.
Mama 237, you said that William Ruto did not leave the Hustler Nation. So I want you to look at his manifesto and the way he had promised the Mama Bogas. He talked about putting money in their pockets. But when he came to become president, he started taking money out of their pocket. And number one, he started with the finance bill. That finance bill was so unpopular and so out of touch with common Mwananchi that I don't know where his senses were. For a person who says that he advocates for common Mwananchi. Now, Mama 237, you talked about a common Mwananchi and William Ruto. Remember, who is overtaxing these people? Who is raiding the payslip right now? Who is raiding the payslip of ordinary people like teachers, overcharging them for this SHA thing, this housing thing? So you look at your payslip right now, and some people, like some teachers had already taken some loans before, and now they have been overcharged with this SHA and this whatever. So do you think those people are happy, and they are very happy, and they are eager, and they are waiting on the ballot to vote for William Ruto?
Can I answer him?
Of course.
I want to tell you this. First of all, Ruto only introduced taxes in this nation. There is no nation that runs without taxes. I know change is inevitable and change is never popular with anybody. But we can only run a country based on the taxes that we collect. It may hurt in the beginning because it's a new concept you are introducing, but eventually it will pay off. Eventually it will pay off, and that is the only way we can develop this nation. Look at even how we were saving with NSSF. How do you save 200 and your employer gives you 200? Where will 400 take you? Look at China. China is depending on those savings, and that is what they are lending developing world. And he wanted us, President Ruto wants us to be a saving nation. He introduced the taxes, yes. We may feel the pinch now, but that is the only way he can grow this country. And that is the only way we can develop this country based on the revenue that we collect, instead of, borrowing every time. And change is inevitable and it's very unpopular, but we will get there. We will get
why?
Would you rather he sustained the dollar erroneously, falsely, to please us, other than, you remember when he came in, it really short, because it was being sustained wrongfully, falsely. So it had to shoot for him to sustain it. Now it is sustained. Even the Western world was surprised.
But Mama, if we are saying that William Ruto came on the agenda of putting money in the pockets of Mwananchi and not taking away money, taxation is not one of the smartest things to do. Otherwise, then it would appear to the common voters as if he was lying to them. Remember, we are discussing politics here. We are not discussing what he intends to do and how that intends